Hello, day 4 of the 5-day edible garden challenge. Today I'll be showing you what free mulch you have around your land or your garden or nature around you. Just standing here with the wattle that you've seen through the week, and I'll start getting into the tools that you can use and also the types of trees you can cut to use as mulch, either to fill garden beds somewhat or mostly on top to feed the plants. So this is all you need for cutting mulch off trees, just some secateurs. This particular one, you can't do them too small, but maybe go for branches like maybe half an inch or less, just a few centimeters. It can get too hard, and that's why you get these bigger ones as well to cut bigger branches. You don't really need a chainsaw unless you're lining garden beds with the trunks of trees or anything. So you just want to find where the smaller branches, smaller twigginess meets the tree. My secateurs are a bit broken, and just make a pile. And then you'd use the bigger ones for more ones like this, and maybe even this would be too hard for these ones unless I had 2 hands going. So you just want to keep going and cutting. And when it comes to wattle, acacias, eucalypts, they really are good for using. That's what they're there for. They're here to regenerate the land. They love a good prune. They love being cut back, and they can survive it really well. So don't feel bad about it. Or by taking almost all of it if you've got a small one. Just leave a few leaves left. It'll come back very quickly. And so this is a nitrogen fixing tree. So we're really just taking off what it's giving as it breaks down. As you add it on top, as it breaks down, it's feeding your garden beds. Now strawberries really love nitrogen, so if you're growing strawberries in your home garden, definitely surround them with some wattle. Is a good nitrogen fixing plant. Even like pigeon pea is a non-native one you could have. Another native is like cassia or casuarina. So plenty of local native nitrogen fixing plants. And you could always use, there's the Grow Native app. Download that and then put in your postcode and find out what's local to you and what's best to have in your garden and what's around to identify. So this is one of the things I cut down to put around trees and in my garden beds to feed them. Here's an air-layered mulberry I planted not long ago, and we're just going to give this one some love and some food around it. Here's some more freebie. The grass out here was very long. I grew it very long, and then I came around and mowed it. So I don't use a heap of this, but I do if I've freshly planted something, or that it's all that I've got. Then you can definitely use grass and just make sure that the plant has some room to breathe around like this. Give it a gap. So these ones smell amazing. So you can use any gum tree or any eucalypt you find. Most cuttings and most scraps of things will be giving food back, but for gums and eucalypt, it'll help give water back to your plant as it breaks down. This one's spiky. No, hang on. Here we go. And here's an example of a tree I mowed around as I saw it growing in the grass. So yeah, the gum in this area, we've got lots of like small and large leaf ironbark, and also lemon scented gum, peppermint. So I put those varieties as tube stock in our garden as well, as natives to have, but also as food for my fruit trees to keep adding on top. So you could keep stripping all this back until there's basically nothing left except for a few on top. To use it all, depends how much you've got around you. I've got heaps here. So there you go. Have fun with that little mulberry. So I don't worry too much about grass. If you feel it's taking over, I've seen people grow fruit trees in grass and not do anything about the grass and everything's fine. And even have sheep and everything come through and, you know, trees survive and get stronger. But if it does bother you, you can lay down cardboard, newspaper just around the base and then add the mulch on top. So this is why you don't have to have fertilizer. You can use what breaks down, what you put down on top of soil as fertilizer. Even banana trees are excellent. You cut them in, I guess, 1/2 meter down the stalks in 1/2 meter length, and then cut them in half again and put the flat side down around your new trees to feed them. Oh, does an amazing job. Keeps it really moist and cool under all the mulch during summer, and helps create a lot of life. I've seen it. And here's an example of living mulch. Is just ground covers. So nasturtium's a really great one, and it self-seeds and pops up every year, but it'll just keep growing. It expands, takes itself where it likes, and there's heaps of native and other weeds that come up too as ground covers that I just allow. But this is one that you can put in, and I mean, I've had them in fruit tree pots and then I put the fruit tree in the ground and they come back up. And so many seeds, but in summer they just keep the sun from scorching the earth. And it's another little happy plant companion, a friend for your fruit trees that it communicates with through the soil food web. So here I've got some native violet, another really great native ground cover is also warrigal greens. The chickens love that one, my goodness, but they haven't got up here yet. And besides the mulch you can collect and living mulches like this, and sweet potato is another awesome one. Having 20 plants to each of your fruit trees at least. Just the plant cover itself is what you really want. So here I've got native violet, strawberry, dandelion, sweet potato, pineapple, I forget what that one is. I know there's arrowroot, I don't know what that one is. Mind blanking. I've got little trees growing, little support trees, nitrogen fixing ones, and eucalypts, and yeah, hibiscus, mulberry, lots of perennials, vegetables such as pepino, and herbs. So you can get in like truckloads of bark and mulch for free from companies or the council that shred trees up that they're cutting down. But you really want to go for forest mulch, and if you do, you want to add something to it. You want to spread it out, maybe spray some biodynamic preparations or add some sort of compost or leaf matter. You want to add other things in, as just putting bark only on top of things, yep, it breaks down slower, but it can take nitrogen. If it's just that by itself, you want to have the layers going. So if you do have bark, put down some other mulches first and grow things, living mulches on top, like keep the lasagna layering going. Alyssium and aloe succulents can be great too. And there's plenty of plants and trees that can be used as biomass. You can research them and make your own lists if you like. Like we dug up some soil to put this cherry tree in, and now I've got this Queensland arrowroot growing up, and I can just keep cutting it down on itself to give back. Rather than using it, I wouldn't pull it up next to the tree. And other ones, such as this is a native ginger. So yeah, I hope I gave you some ideas to collect free mulch. Definitely for your action today is, if you've got secateurs or cutters, or get some and start cutting wheelbarrow loads of nitrogen fixing trees and gum trees to add on top of your garden beds, and watch the difference it makes. It's really amazing. You see a huge improvement in the health and vitality of your plants and the taste, because it's feeding it back, and how well they do in summer. They'll need less water, and yeah, I've seen plenty of garden beds with just bare soil. Please cover them and mulch, and grow living mulches. So tomorrow we'll be doing lawn to crop